Heavyweight action follows when top prospect Fabio Wardley looks to continue his knockout run after stopping his last 11 opponents inside the distance.
Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing tonight green trunks, stripped in black. He weighed in 266.2 pounds and in 30 professional fights holds a record of 20 victories, including 17 knockouts, 9 defeats, and 1 draw. From Clarksburg, West Virginia, USA, here is Daniel the Mountain Martz. And across the ring stands his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing blue with white, he weighed in 236.7 pounds. In 12 professional fights, he is perfect in the ring. 12 victories, no defeats, 11 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here's the undefeated heavyweight from Ipswich, Suffolk, England, Fabio Wardley!
Okay lads, when I say stop, you stop boxing. When I say break, take a step back. Keep your hands up, protect yourself at all times. Good luck to you both.
Sparring with tonight's headliner, Lawrence Okoli. Now at Shane McGuigan's gym, Wardley was a little out of shape when he went into those spars. It just reminded him that he wants to keep under 240 pounds. He's in that sweet spot, Darren, almost like a big cruiserweight that's moved up. And he's by no means a small heavyweight, but he's got the attributes of speed, sharp reflexes, but also carries natural power that make him a real problem as he goes up the levels here. But this is a well-timed test for him, and he hasn't been shy of taking tests at a pretty inexperienced stage of his career. No real amateur background at some white-collar fights, which he was unsurprisingly devastating. But his aptitude and his ring IQ and the way he learns seems to have almost allowed him to skip a step in his apprenticeship.
Absolutely, and yeah, well, you say it's usually the fighters that have come through the amateur ranks and had a good amateur pedigree that they show the sort of ring IQ at such a young age and inexperience, but I think that shows that Fabio's a real natural talent, and what he does lack, you could say, in size against some of the big heavyweights, he makes up in speed and, as you can see, power. And he's a very intelligent lad, and you can see that in his ring IQ as well. He's always setting traps. You can see he's dropping to the body with a jab, trying to drop the hands of Martz so he can look for the right hand, who I might say can punch.
Well, he can punch, and it can be pretty dangerous early in contests as well. But it's when he's tagged clean that things can unravel, and he's been hit with some pretty spiteful punches. Luis Ortiz really switched the lights out, walked him onto a beautiful counter left hand. Joseph Parker caught him just above the ear with a couple of overhand looping right hands, made him sink to his knees. And Wardley was brought in to kind of replicate Parker's style by Derek Chisora for the rematch last year. And he can punch.
Yeah, he landed a good right hand there, Martz. Just took the sting out of it, Fabio, as he was going backwards, letting his shots go, and you can see the clubbing power there. But if you've seen in the past, when Fabio has taken a couple of the gloves, he always fires back.
Well, he's dangerous in those moments. We saw that against Simon Vallely, against Eric Molina, and of course against Nick Webb, who came out the traps in the first round of their contest last summer. Wardley, I think, had planned on setting a slow pace and warming into the fight, but once he realised he was in a fight, he thought, I've got to sit down on my shots. He got Webb out of there, but Daniel Martz has made a good start here.
This is the only issue so far for me, for Fabio, is he's a slow starter. Sometimes he likes to warm into contests, and there's always an issue, especially in this division. It only takes a split second and it can be curtain, so you've got to be alert from the off. You see here, Martz has started very positively, and he landed a couple of shots, especially that right hand, chopping down with it.
Yeah, Wardley almost too laid back at times for his own good, but He's also his own critic, and he'll know the mistakes that he's made. There's just a little bit of reddening on the jaw, and he just shakes the head there. He knows that was a poor start. This isn't to Robert Hodgins.
Brennan. Breathe. When you're standing still, you're making it so easy for him. Just movement. He can't handle the movement, you've got to move. Overhand right, switch your attack to the body and relax. Don't stand still and be ploddy, just little bounce, little feint, yeah? Right, he's had his fun now. What's the power like?
Yeah, I was fucking around, it's silly.
What's his power like?
Nothing, there's nothing
Well,
there.
then don't muck about with it, don't give him no chance, right? Body, yeah? Feint to the head, go down to the body, come up top. I promise you if you do that, it's all over. Little movements, yeah? No mucking about, no flat footed. Right, breathe. Little feint, Matt Stall.
Well, it's called ring rust for a reason, Darren, and maybe he's just shaking 3 minutes of it off there, but he knows he's got to sharpen his feet up and get to work now. Big Daniel Martz just lumbers in with a 1-2.
He'll fancy this after that first round, Martz. He'll start to let his hands go. And I've noticed in the contests I have seen in the past, he does get a bit sloppy with that jab. He drops it to his chest, his chin's high. So he is a sucker to the overhand right, so expects Fabio to start looking for that, as he does there.
Well, Hodgins told him to change the levels, go body first, then round the side. That's exactly what he did, and Martz has fallen, as we suspected that he may do. The same punch that Joseph Parker caught him with when he put him down early in their contest a couple of years ago. And Wardley, as he said he would to his corner man, has gone to work here.
You see the chin of Martz extremely high, the hands are down, especially that left hand, so the right hand is definitely the shot. You can see Fabio looking for it time and time again. Really does throw it with speed and power.
He's just loading up on that right hand a little bit there. Overhand right there, muffled on the shoulder of the big American.
Yeah, just loading up the right hand.
Oh, he wants to, he can really fight Fabio Wardley, and that left hook again, just above the ear, has put Daniel Martz down. He's just touching his ear as that perforated the eardrum. He's also something wrong with his jaw there, and he cannot continue. And well, after a laboured first round from the Ipswich fighter, he switched it on, went through the gears, and well, he has got gears, isn't he?
He has. He was annoyed with himself after that first round, and he come out in the second. A completely different fighter, positive, switched on, alert, started looking for those right hands over the lazy jab of Martz, and he felt the power, didn't he, Chris?
Over the top, and well, that is exactly what you call heeding your trainer's instructions. He said, I promise you, if you throw that, he'll go. I wonder if it was that left hook that jacked his jaw. There's something not quite right there. See him opening and closing his mouth on the second knockdown, as if to say something doesn't feel right, and he clearly wasn't able to continue. That was the second knockdown, and well, perhaps it was that left hook there. But as with 3 or 4 of his other fights, Darren, we mentioned Molina, Vallely and Nick Webb, when he's been tagged early, that seems to switch him on, and when he wants to turn it on and fight, he can really fight.
It's just a case now for Fabio of staying switched, or starting switched on rather. He doesn't need to be taking shots to get him into that zone, but once he does get there, it's impressive stuff. And what I like about Fabio, he's intelligent with his work. He's in there with a guy who's taller than him, so he's working the body first, then going upstairs. Smart stuff, good finish from Fabio.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 1 minute, 30 seconds. Round number 2. We have your winner by KO. He is still undefeated, Fabio Wardley.